everybody, and this is VS2PCG Deck Forger. So for today, I'm so excited because we're going to try to reveal to you several set of videos all for our totally outrageous deck series. And these particular decks, of course, are not your run-of-the-mill, typical, win-it-all combination of the gameplays, but totally different and innovative DS2 PCG decks. So we have decks in particular that are running on a library deck. We also have decks that are all control, try to stall, snatch your opponents away from you. We also have a particular deck that gets to copy your opposing enemy players, supporting characters, and even their main characters, and even on your side of the board. But for this particular issue, or we're going to try to reveal to you a totally awesome and outrageous deck that is centered on this particular main character, and that is Madame Hydra. So stay with me, guys, and we will try to show you what this totally awesome and outrageous deck is all about. So let's go to our deck decking table, and we'll try to explain to you how this particular deck actually works and why it's totally awesome. So guys, this is BS2PCG Deck Forger. Okay, so now that we are in our deck decking table, we're going to try to explain our latest deck in a different way. First, we're going to have a short playtest, our gameplay, wherein we're going to try to show you how the deck actually works, and then we will give you the big reveal on what is the content inside this Secret Empire deck deck. So let's try to begin. Okay, so again, we have our Madame Hydra level 1 and then level 2. Okay, so we'll try to explain. Again, Madame Hydra doesn't have much of any superpower and keyword powers, and at level 1 he is a 4 attack, a 0 attack, 6 defense character with 6 health. So I chose this particular main character from Hydra for this totally outrageous deck because of her 6 health, and her level up requirement is very simple. Okay, so it's for mysterious plans, she needs 5 XP to level up, and when you play a resource face down, Madame Hydra gains an XP. So it just shows here that you need to play at least 5 resource in your resource row, and on the 5th she will now gain her XP, of course, unless she's being stopped by the likes of Scarlet Witch or other potential characters with hex powers like Baron Mordo. Now, once she's able to get that 5 XP, then she now transforms to her level 2 power, and that is okay, she gains now a 4 attack, 8 defense stats, still with 6 health, and this is where we got the name of the deck. She now gains Secret Empire. So when you recruit characters, or you can recruit characters and play equipment from your resource row, and when you do, replace that card with the top card of your deck face down. So let's try to have a short gameplay for this one. Okay, let's try to test how this actually works. Now, to give you a tip, this particular deck actually mulligans for Mantis, and I'll try to shuffle it first. so you'll get an idea of this. So okay, let's try to get 7 cards. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 cards. So let's see. So normally if you don't have any mantis on your opening hand, then at least you have 2 mulligan. Much better. You don't need to actually get any specific card other than mantis. Okay, so let's try to cut so that we'll have a very good random set of cards. So again, 7 cards for your opening hand. So now you have the mantis. Okay, so here you see that you have, for your opening hand, you have 1 mantis, you have 1 Mr. X from the Hammer team, you have 1 Baron Bone Strucker, you have an Aris, 1 Grizzly, again from Hammer, and 2 Hydra Soldiers. Okay, so let's try to... So no locations. No plot twist. So we just have to contend with this because this is our second mulligan. So we put Aris as part of our resource. We put Madame Hydra on the front row, of course. Then we play Hydra Soldier. So Hydra Soldier now puts a -1/-1 counter on your opponent. So it will try to weaken up any main character, okay, from your opponent's side of the board, or even in any supporting character. He's the one who is able to go first. But since you are the first one, oh sorry, it's just supporting character, okay, because it's soldier. Okay, so now you just put Hydra Soldier in front so that it can protect Madame Hydra. So Hydra Soldier here is just, okay, cannon fodder for your opponent. Okay, so if let's say it's the opponent's turn to go first, then you can draw 2 cards. But again, if not, then it's alright. Then if the character plays anything, now you draw 2 cards on your second turn. So remember, this is your second turn. So you try to put the highest cost character, okay, on your side. Then you play Mantis. Now, if your opponent has any character that is higher than 3 attack, then I think it's time for you to go attack Mantis. Okay, so that when Mantis gets KO'd, okay, her rebirth, okay, actually when she gets KO'd, you may turn her into a face down resource on your side. So again, you put her here. If you attack with her, then okay, now your resource is a total of 3. So your opponent will play again. Then if it's your third turn, so remember it's your third turn, so okay, you have already 2 XP for Madame Hydra. So you try to play any card that you want on your deck. So for in this instance, you can play, let's say, a Grizzly. Then you play 2 Hydra Soldiers. So when this second Hydra Soldier appears, it will put 2 -1 counters on any supporting opposing supporting character. Then you also play Hammer Enforcer. Okay, so Hammer Enforcer now, when it comes to play, it also has soldiers. So you now put 3 or -1/-1 counters on your opponent's supporting character. Okay, so now Madame Hydra gains the XP. So it's your opponent's turn. Okay, so now let's say if anything, they attack or whatever, okay, don't care about it. If there's an opening, Grizzly can attack, because remember, Grizzly is a 5/2. Okay, so now you draw another 2 sets of cards, and you are now on your 4th drop. So again, you play any card that you like. Okay. You can play this one, or you can also play Moonstone, because Moonstone has flight. Okay, so she can be a good flight wall for your opponent. Okay, So if anything, let's say your opponent struck this down, remove this one, okay. So now you are left with just 3 supporting characters. Okay, remember Moonstone has a +1 health while Miss Marble is not on your side. So technically she has 2 health. So that's it. So you attack, whatever, pass the turn. Try to protect Madame Hydra so that she doesn't get stunned. So now she has 4 XP. Okay, let's try to look at this one. Okay, so you are able to draw 2 cards again. You put this big dude here, and technically now Madame Hydra levels up. So when she levels up, now this is the fun, where the fun begins. Remember, you have placed a Mantis here. Okay, so for Mantis, we're going to try to play her. So remember, you have a total of 6 XP, 5 XP. It's supposed to be 5. Sorry, 6 XP, 6 resource row. Then you play Mantis. Oh, sorry, because Mantis was okay here a while ago. So Mantis now, okay, when she is played from the resource row, you get another card from your deck and you place it here. So now you have 6 resource in total. You're placing the Mantis here, and when she attacks on your okay, you still have a total of 4, so you can still play Baron Bone Strucker. So now when she attacks, you put Mantis here. Okay, if you get stunned, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you have 7 resources in total. Okay, so let's try to draw another 2 sets of cards on your 6th turn. Okay, now you have 7, total of 7 resources. So let's count it again. Now Mantis is still in your resource row. Then you now try to play her and replace her again. Okay, so Mantis now has a thought gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say the one card that is being replaced here is also another Mantis. Now this is where more fun begins. So let's say you replace this one, okay, with this card when Mantis is played from resource row. And since this is another Mantis, so you still have 6 recruit points. Now you get to play Mantis again, but wait, okay, there's going to be a trigger. So this one will appear here and still have 8 resource, but then the other Mantis will now get KO'd. Okay, back to your resource row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so still have 4. Again, you play Mantis from your resource row, gets replaced, then gets KO'd. And still have 2 these recruit points. So again, you play Mantis from your resource row, it gets replaced, then it gets KO'd and back to your resource row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you have 11 resource in your resource row. Okay, so okay, now this is where the real good part, because once you are able to drop in on the 8, 11 or something, okay, let's try to go further. Okay, I'll try to explain further. So draw again on your next turn. That's after the 7th, if I'm counting it right. Now you already have 7 resource. On the 7th turn you have already 11, and you place another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so for the 13, again, you try to bring out, let's say, the likes of this guy, Fallen One. He's a herald, and still have 9 resources left. Okay, then you play Iceman. And when Iceman appears, all locations on your opponent's side are freeze or frozen. Okay? So with 8, 12, you still have 1 left. If you have any one cost character here in your uh, resource row, still you can play it so that you can get replaced. Okay, so none. I don't have any more, so it's just space. So on the 7th turn, you have 13 resources. Again, if you have a chance, attack with Mantis. Then put her in the resource row if she gets KO'd. Okay. Now, let's now go on the 8th turn. You have 2 cards again. So here we have drawn an Ares and a Fallen One. Remember that we placed a particular character here a while ago. So now you have 13 resources. You put Ares here. So that's a total of 4, 8, 12, 13. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 13. Sorry, 13. A while ago it was 12. No. Yeah, 12. Unless that I missed on something. Okay. So I think it's time to bring out this big guy. Since you already have a Herald in play. Okay. If not, and you really want to go it further. Okay, let's try to go further a little bit so that you will know how it works. If not, you don't want to bring Galactus out, then again, it's time for you to just bring out Mantis. Again, okay, so you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 12, 30. So again, we try to play Mantis from our resource row. Then replace. Then you bring out the other Mantis. So 13, that reduces our recruit points to down to 9. So it gets replaced. Then Mantis gets KO'd. Okay, so 7. Again, we bring this one out. Then Mantis again. Sorry. It gets replaced. Then Mantis. So bring her out again. 5 gets replaced. Then gets KO'd. 4. 3 gets replaced. Then KO'd. Then 1 gets replaced and KO. Then you have one more. I think bring out one Hydra soldier, then gets replaced. So by the end of the 8th turn, your 9th turn, your total resources are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so you have 18 resource. Then what you can do now is draw 2 cards, let's say attack or whatever you like. Now on the next turn, you have 19 resources. Now you can bring out Groot, replace it, and you can bring out Galactus himself. Still have 2 to play again Mantis for your 20th resource. See, this particular deck is totally awesome. I really like it because it plays significant, consistent gameplay every turn. You don't have any dead drops because you don't really need to waver any character, no matter how much is the cost, because again you can bring them back later with Madame Hydra. So I think by the time that I'm finishing this particular playtest, I think you now know the consistency of this totally outrageous deck. So what is it? Okay, so the good thing about this is And to give you the big reveal, ta-dan! This is an all character deck. Okay, no locations, no plot twist, no equipment. Okay, so let's try to explain and detail each and every character that I have included in this deck. So let's start first with your first set of 1-drops. So you have 4 copies of Hammer Enforcer and 4 copies of Hydra Soldier. So Hammer Enforcer has Swarm and he has Soldier. So when this character appears, put a -1/-1 counters equal to the number of soldiers on your side until onto an enemy supporting character. So Hammer Enforcer is 2 attack and 1 defense with 1 health and range. His counterpart in this deck is Hydra Soldier, so it's almost the same, except he has 1 attack and 2 defense with range and 1 health, still with Swarm and still with Soldier. So we have 8 sets of them, all with 8 copies of them in this deck, all with all of them with range, Swarm, so you can actually put multiple copies of them onto your deck. And in this instance, we also have 4 copies of Grizzly, and Grizzly is also from the Hammer team. And Grizzly has a very huge stats: 5 attack and 2 defense for 2 health. Although note, there's nothing in the text box, but we don't care. It's big, okay? Then we also have put 4 copies of Mantis. So Mantis here is your key card in the deck. And again, she is 2 attack, 3 defense with 1 health and has revert. So when she gets KO'd, you may turn her into a face down resource on your side. So the interaction between Mantis and Madame Hydra, of course, is once you bring her out from your resource row, it gets replaced, and if there's a second Mantis in play, okay, you bring her out, then it gets replaced in your resource row and Mantis will now be put back. So this is how the engine for Madame Hydra actually works. And this is an all character deck. My gosh, okay, so again, this is the fun thing about this particular deck, is there's no equipment, no plot twist whatsoever. Everything is reservist. Okay, so besides Mantis, you have another 2 copies of Fixer, and he's a 3 attack, 3 defense character from Hydra with 1 health, and he also has Soldier. Techno Genius, not so much use in this deck because of course you don't have any equipment. For your 3-drop, you also have 3 copies of Baron Bone Strucker, and Baron Bone Strucker is a 6 attack, 2 defense character with range and 1 health, and he's a soldier and he has team up. And this is why he's here, because of course you want to bring down this huge character in the mid game. At least Baron Bone Strucker can weaken it a little with that -1/-1 counters from his soldier ability, and at the same time he can also provide the team up needed to team attack and bring down those big opposing characters. Now if you're up against character with very huge counter, producing abilities, then you have 4 copies of Gorgon. And Gorgon is also from the Hydra team, and he's a 4 attack, 3 defense character with 2 health, and he has the Spirit of in the East. Enemy characters, don't get attack and defense bonuses from +1/+1 counters. So very effective here in this deck. Now, A while ago you saw Moonstone, and Moonstone is also from the Hammer team. And Moonstone is a 4 attack, 6 attack, 4 defense character with 1 health and flight and range. And she's impersonating Miss Marvel. So Moonstone technically has 2 health because she has this +1 vitality or +1 health, while Miss Marvel is not on your side. And this particular +1 health doesn't go away when Moonstone is face down because it cannot be turned off. Your other set of 4 drop are of course 4 copies of the Fallen One. And Fallen One is here because we have Galactus on your deck. And the Fallen One is a 4 attack, 4 defense character with 2 health and flight and range. So he's a good flight wall, very durable with 2 health. And he has Herald of Galactus, so it costs 1 less for Galactus to come out into play. And he also has Herald of Thanos. So Thanos characters on your deck can also be lessened when Fallen One is in play. Then Fallen Herald, when Fallen One strikes any Galactus or Thanos character, then you may stun that character. So very powerful in this particular deck. Now, for your 5th drop, you have 5 copies of Groot because you have seen how your resource row go way up, okay, a while ago. And in this particular case, Groot can grow big in this particular deck. So Groot is a 5 cost character from the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he has very variable stats, but with 2 health. And so I am Groot. Groot has +1/+1 for each resources on your side. So let's say if you reach a while ago around 19 or 20 resources, then Groot now becomes 20 attack, 20 defense. So for 5 cost character, he is huge. Okay. Now we also have 4 copies of Mr. X, and Mr. X is from the Hammer team. And he's here also because if there are any opposing characters that are somehow growing big because of those counters or because of those additional bonuses or whatever combo that they have, Mr. X can help even it out. Because actually he's a living even the odds. So he's a 6 attack, 9 character with 1 health, and he can predict your every move. So when enemy character is in solo combat with Mr. X, its current attack and defense can't be higher than its printed attack and defense. So very good for this deck also. And for our 6th turn, we have 4 copies of Iron Patriot. And Iron Patriot is here because if you need to turn down any critical location from your opponent's side of the board, then Iron Patriot can do it. Not so much on Iron Man because of course you don't have any location. So just like Iron Man, he is a 5 attack, 7 defense character with 1 health and flight and range. And Iron Patriot can lower the hammer. So when Iron Patriot appears, you may turn an enemy location face down. Okay, so another set of 6 turn character are 2 copies of Kraken, and Kraken also has Soldier, and he is a 9 attack, 4 defense character with 2 health, and he works behind the scenes. So when Kraken is in your back row, front row characters on your side can't be struck while attacking. So he's good when it comes to comboing characters, okay, later in the part of the game. Then we also have 4 copies of Ares, and Ares is from the Hammer team, and at 7 cost, he is a 10 attack, 7 defense character with 3 health, and he has dodge, so Ares can't beat range attack. He has Combat Master, so while Ares is in combat, enemy players can't play Plot Twist, and he's also lethal, so if Ares wounds an enemy defending character, KO it immediately. So that is a very multi-keyword, okay, character on your deck. And you also have 2 copies of Colossus, and Colossus is a 7 drop with 12 attack, 12 defense, and 3 health. So again, he's also a blank slate when it comes to his keyboard key text or text box. But then again, we're here for him because of his very huge stats and very high health. And we also have for our 8 drop 2 copies of Iceman. And Iceman is from the Omega Mutants, and he's an 18 attack, 1 defense character with range and 2 health. And specifically, he has Ice Age. So when you recruit Iceman, and for the at the start of your turn, freeze each enemy location. So to stall your opponent and to help level up your gameplay. Going to our 12th drop, but not the biggest character in your deck yet, you have Galactus. So Galactus is huge, 30 attack, 30 defense character with 7 health, with flight and range, and of course you can't bring him out unless you have a fallen one on your side, okay? And at the same time, he has cosmic entity, so he cannot be burned, he cannot be freeze, he cannot be rendered immobile, and he cannot be infected, okay? So Galactus is huge, okay? And he's important here, of course, because when you go to the late game, you need to avoid having that Dark Phoenix drop, and the Monster of All Worlds will see to that your opponent will never get to see those 9 resources, okay, by the light of day. So at the start of your main phase, you may name a location. If you do, remove each card with that name everywhere from the game. So since you're not running any location, you can just name any location and get rid of it and stall your opponents, okay, for the latter part of your match. And our biggest character, of course, are 2 copies of the Living Tribunal, and he has no stats at 0/0 and he still has no health, but he brings balance in the multiverse. So it's either you choose loyalty to KO each Marvel equipment, location, and supporting character on your side of the board, or necessity, you may KO each non-Marvel equipment, location, and supporting character from your side, from your phone, from all the board. And of course, you have vengeance, so KO each photographic, location, equipment, and supporting character from all side of the board. And so this is a totally awesome deck. No location, no plot twist, just plain and pure and simple characters. So it works, okay? So just have to try it. And if you notice, I've been using several characters that are not really usable, mostly in several decks or gameplays. So you can see here that I put Iron Patriot, I put Colossus, and I put, let's say, Grizzly. Most of them are not really that usable, or they're not seeing the light of day. So I just gave them some justice and I put them here in this deck so that you can see how an all character deck actually works. So before we go, of course, we'd like to thank our friends from BS2PCG Collective for our friends there, Mr. Benjamin, Mr. Ben Brosin, Mr. Joe, okay, the Human Torch Vitelli, all the great guys, Danny Privet, and all the other admins at the BS2PCG Collective. And we also like to thank our friends from Treats for Them. So that is www.treatsfordem.com. You can visit the website, or you can download the mobile app at Google Play Store. So again, if you want to order treats for your friends or families here in the Philippines from abroad, try to use Treats for Them. So that's TREATS, the number 4, THEM. And soon, by May, we're going to launch the new Virtual Mall Philippines. It's another great online shopping app, and it's also created by the makers or the creators of Treats for Them. And of course, we'd like to thank our official venue for Shabby Place in Las Piñas City, that is located in Unit B, number 70, Velasquez Compound, okay, located along Naga Road in Polanlupa 2, Las Piñas City. And also our other venue at PM Apartments, and that is along Matalino Street in Diliman, Quezon City, Philippines. So we also like to thank our other sponsors, Jusana Philippines, New Skin Philippines, courtesy of New Ann. You can visit the official Facebook page of New Ann at or Newlen at Facebook. And we also like to thank all our other friends, okay, mula sa Puto and all the other great food providers that are constantly being worked out together with FHP BS2PCG Philippines. So again guys, I hope you really like this video. It's a totally awesome deck. And this is your boy Mark Eong. And once again, thank you for watching BS2PCG Deck Forger.
Just because I wrote